Why did royal succession split medieval kingdoms? Imagine a time when kings and queens ruled vast lands, but their claims to the throne often led to chaos instead of unity. That's what happened in medieval Europe. When a ruler died, who should take their place was not always clear. The rules for choosing a new monarch were complicated and different from place to place. Sometimes, there was no single law everyone followed. This made disputes inevitable. Different regions had their own customs, like giving the throne to the eldest son or choosing a leader by election. When these rules clashed, it caused fights over who was the rightful ruler. In many cases, kingdoms didn't stay whole after a king died. Instead, they were divided among the king's children. If a king had several sons, the land might be split into smaller parts. This weakened the kingdom and made it easier for enemies to attack. It also created more conflicts because each part had its own ruler. Around the 10th and 11th centuries, a new idea called primogeniture started to take hold. It meant the oldest son would inherit everything, keeping the land united. But this change was slow, and before it became common, many kingdoms fractured because younger sons or other relatives fought for power. Nobles and regional leaders played a big role in these disputes. They had to support the new king or queen. If they backed different heirs, civil wars could break out. Nobles wanted to keep their own power and land, so they often chose sides based on what benefited them most. This meant that succession was not just about bloodlines but also about political support. When a ruler died without a clear heir, it could cause chaos. Sometimes, women or their husbands claimed the throne, which led to wars of succession. These conflicts often split kingdoms apart as factions fought for control. Claims to the throne could also be based on divine right. People believed that kings were chosen by God, so their right to rule was sacred. But when different factions supported different candidates, it created divisions. Some claimed divine favor for their candidate, while others supported a rival. This made succession disputes even more complicated and often led to conflicts that divided kingdoms. So, the reason medieval kingdoms split during royal succession was mainly because the rules were unclear or contested. Multiple heirs wanted power, and nobles or factions supported different claimants. Even as laws like primogeniture tried to keep things stable, disputes still happened. These conflicts shaped the history of Europe and kept the idea of monarchy and law in a constant state of change.